Hello, Teaquilters. Today is November 28th, 2020, and it is 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're doing live sew-and chat. And I am just coming into the room exactly at the start time, maybe a few minutes late, 9:03. I keep forgetting that now that I've added in the mic, that I have to do a little bit more prep work. So I forgot all about that. And then I wanted to reboot all of my devices before I started. So hopefully everybody has had a wonderful Thanksgiving in the USA and that you are just kind of chilling on the back end and eating leftovers. So just wanted to give people a few minutes to get in here. I don't even have my project up here, but it's close. Okay. Let's see who all is in the chat room tonight after I get on here. That's not going to work. All right. We had some people in here earlier. Had Molly J says, hello, T and everyone. Hope you had a pleasant Thanksgiving day. Carla Ford says, good evening, T and everyone. I hope all had a wonderful Thanksgiving day. And Susan T is here, says, hi, T and everyone. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Sheila Willis says, good evening, T and all quilters. Wind Sprinter says, hello from Maryland, T and everyone. Darcy Savali is here saying, hi, T and all quilters from Minnesota. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Karen Ian is here. She says, hi, T and T quilters. It is boiling hot here in Sydney today. 41 degrees Celsius, which I think is maybe 104. Oh my gosh. She says, with strong hot winds, hibernation is happening. Yes. Jackie K is here, says, good evening, T and T quilters. T, your quilt is fabulous. I love the very modern layout you chose. Very uplifting. Well, thank you, Jackie. And Darcy is also reminding people to hit that thumbs up. She does it every week. Thank you so much, Darcy. Mario is here. Says, hello from friendly Montreal. The snow is gone. Well, that was quick. Dolores Felt says, this is Dolores in Olathe, Kansas. Hi, T and T quilters. Hi, Dolores, and welcome to the live chat. Celia Swain is here. She says, hi, T and fellow quilters. And Mario says, the quilt gets the blue ribbon if that's the best reward. Yes. Carla says, T, your quilt is so vibrant and colorful. Thank you so much, guys. Dorsey says, lots of leftovers. Yes, indeed. For Thanksgiving. San Forrest is here saying, hello, everyone. Angela Stringer says, hey, T and quilters. Betsy says, good evening, T and all. I was busy making jambalaya and turkey noodle soup yesterday. Love the pictures of the Cleo. Thank you, Betsy. Thanks so much for allowing me to use your space, too. That was really awesome. And it took a whole lot longer than I thought to pick a design with those blocks. So it was fun, though. Cheryl Bean is here, says, hi, T and everyone. Hope everyone had a blessed Thanksgiving. Kevin the quilter is here. Hey, Kevin. He says, evening, Miss T. Miss you. Evening, T quilters. I am gobbling and wadding after Thanksgiving. Tom Eckery is here. Hey, Tom. He says, hi, T and T quilters. Remember the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Tom. He's another one that reminds people every week. And Judy is here. I got something to show you. Not a whole lot, but I got something to show you. She says, hello, T and quilters. And then Teresa Jekowitz says, hi, T and y'alls. So, thanks everybody for coming over. Let's see, we are in the 40s. I think I can't see the number because it's right on a white spot something over here is white where my numbers are today, the way I got the camera angled, I guess. Um, but thank you all so much for coming through. I hope, again, that everybody had a blessed and fun Thanksgiving. My family, we just took food to one house. Three of us made the majority of the food. A lot of people just donate money to my mom or my sister, or donate food, and then my mom and sister cooks most of it. I cook a couple of things, and then we just take it. Well, since the pandemic, we just been taking it to my mom's house, and everybody just picks up from there. You get a time, you pick up. So I went early because I had food to drop off. I got to spend a little time with my mom, just sitting around, because I don't normally do that. Normally when I go over, I'm either getting her grocery list, dropping off food, and I'm running on to my next errand. So the holiday gave me a chance to sit down and chat with her. My brother, hung out with one of my brothers, and not Ray. I got other brothers. I had 4 brothers, and now I got 3. One of them passed a couple years ago. But got to hang out with one of my brothers today. We went shopping a little bit, and then went out and had lunch. That's why I got the Chick-fil-A cup here today. So whenever I get a cup from a restaurant, I go ahead and use it, so that it's not going straight into our landfill. But having a good time. I've been quilting still. Have not been back in this room since our Wednesday live chat, and I have not done any sewing since last Saturday, except for today. I came in here a little bit earlier so I can show Judy that I have cut your fabrics. I haven't done a whole lot of sewing. I just got one block. So let me show you all that. So Judy gave me a total of, I think it's 9 K facets, 8 of them, and then she gave me one that I think I can use as a border. So I put that one aside. I haven't cut that one yet. But the 8 fabrics I have cut into squares and rectangles. And I struggled to find a pattern that I wanted to use, because I wanted to make sure that with these fabrics that I didn't want to cut them so little that you lose the whole point of his pattern, his fabric line. I have some K facets more in the bright colors, but so I have used them before, and the more you cut them up, the less of his actual artistic design you see. So I was trying to find a pattern that I could use large pieces with. So this is my block here, and I'm going to make maybe 20 of these, and then I'm gonna lay them out and then put them together. So we'll see how this is going to work. I just looking at the back of my quilt, I don't have my seam pressed flat. It got moved when I was pressing something else. So just want you to know that I get so many things from you all, and then I just put them aside, or if I put them into my stash, then I really don't get to see them. And this time I decided I was going to go ahead and make something with the fabrics. I was about to wrap them onto fabric bolts, and it's like, no, don't do that. Find something really simple, something quick that you can make that doesn't take a whole lot of work. I did the cutting last night in I'd say about an hour and a half, once I figured out what I needed, what sizes and all of that. And then I just decided to go ahead and start cutting. So I got all the fabrics cut. I just need to make these blocks. So I just made this one so I could hold up and show you all what I cut. Just 2 sizes. I cut a 6.5 inch square, and then a 6.5 by 12.5 inch rectangle. So that's all I cut with my sashing pieces. Let's see. We're still piecing the Cleopatra blocks. That's my final row. Last Saturday, I'm sorry. On last Saturday, I had pieced blocks 1 and 2 and put those together. And I had some issue with row 3 being mixed up. So I have block number 3 that goes onto this. I need to sew that seam. I got that straightened out. And then I also sewed blocks 4 through 6 together. I have 9 blocks total. And so this is what I did last week, and I have not sewn any more on this project. Okay, so this is how wide the quilt is without any borders. So we're getting there, and we're going to finish what we started last week. We'll throw this one over there so I remember where the one is that I got to add blocks to. And then I'm going to pull out block number 7 right here. Put 8 and 9 back. And then I also printed out my layout. And I put my numbers on them. So if I mix up something tonight while I'm chatting with you guys, I'll know which way it gets sewn together so that it's not reversed. That's what I was afraid of when I sewed this together, so I didn't want to sew it together last week in the event that I reverse it. So, let's see who else has come in. I see some new people have come into the room. Let's see. Teresa McCormick came in. She says, hello, T and everyone. Mario says that it was 48 people when I was looking up there and couldn't see what was behind the 4. Thank you, Mario. Sharon Lewis says, hi, T. Hello, quilters from Washington, D.C. Hi, Sharon Lewis. My brother is here, Ray Mahone. He says, hey, sis. Hi, everyone. Hope you're all staying safe. Get my thumbs up. Got his thumbs up. And I'm late because I was talking to Mom, of course. And she is so funny. I got to chat with her. And she's telling, my brother been telling her all the stuff that I tell y'all. Like, Faye says she's not, they call me my middle name, Faye. My family say, Faye says she's not having Christmas. Y'all gonna have to figure it out. This is too funny. Sandra Edgar says, she says, hello, T and everyone. Mary says, beautiful. Welcome, Mary. Judy goes, oh, wow, I love it. Great idea. Yes, I just want to keep the integrity of these fabrics. I sometimes will cut up K-Facet fabrics, and it's like, I just want to show them. And I do have another top that I made with K-Facet fabrics a long time ago. And, yeah, I need to get it quilted. It's not quilted. The Molly says, love the colors. Lovely block for Mario. Susan says, you're talented. So talented, T. Beautiful way to use Judy's fabrics. Mario says, the light color session is gorgeous. Yes. And that's kind of my accent. Well, before I had even picked a pattern, I knew that I needed something else to accent because I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I was going to need something else. So I had thought I was going to use a different pattern, but I decided I wanted the fabric to be a little bit bigger. So that's why I chose this design. Carla Green says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Carla, and welcome. Carla says, Carla Forward says, wow, love it. No, Carol Green. I probably said Carla, making sure I said Carol. Green is in here. And then Carla is saying, wow, love it. Now, y'all just mess with me with these names, right? Let's see. Magorzata. I have messed that up. It's like Malgorzata. Malgorzata. That's it. Malgorzata. Wenditz. I don't know if it's Wandrich or is it Vitch? I don't know. Sorry, I'm butchering your name, but I'm trying. She says, sorry, I'm late. Hello, T. Hello. And welcome to the chat. After I've just completely butchered first and last name. So I'm really sorry about that. Janet Mackerel says, good evening, quilters and T. The block is so pretty. Thank you so much. Joyce Baker says, good evening, T and T quilters. Deanna J is here, says, hi, T and T quilters. Kathleen Dabney says, hi, T, watching from Louisiana. Love your block. Thank you all. And Vanessa Green says, good evening, T and T quilters. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I did. Hope you did too, Vanessa. And Teresa says, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Cynthia Shea says, good evening to all from Chicago. Hope all had a great turkey day. Well, thank you Cynthia. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and get started on these blocks. So first off, I gotta finish the block 3, so I'm gonna sew it, and then I'll sew block 7 because you all know I chain piece. I don't break my thread unless I absolutely have to. I'm out of bobbin. It's not working right. Need to change the needle, something like that. It's got to be drastic for me to not chain sew on something. Take this piece off and just put it to the side. So, also in the comment section, let me know what you guys are working on tonight since we're doing sewing chat. Want to know what your projects are too? Or if you're not sewing, let me know what else you're doing. Crochet, counted cross stitch, knitting. Share your projects with me as well. I also posted photos in Facebook about 8:30 tonight of my Cleopatra layout choices that I have for these blocks. And I'm also asking that if anybody has done any blocks, even if you've already posted a photo, please post a photo under in the comment section of that post that I made. Would really appreciate it. Just trying to get all the pictures all together in one spot so I can see who all is participating. And I do pin when I'm sewing my blocks and my sashings. I just like for my stuff to meet up, especially when I've used the Quilt die cutter, because all of my pieces are not on the straight of grain. So I don't want a whole lot of play for it to stretch. So I do like to put pins. I'm only putting in about 5, but I do pin. For new people, if there are any new people to the channel tonight, I'm going to say about a month, 4 or 5 weeks ago, I showed on our Saturday sew chats, just go back through the live chats, and I showed how I picked my fabric. I talked about how I was going to cut my fabric. I also showed exactly how to piece these blocks. I also showed you how to that you can make this with the Quilt die cutter, but if you don't, you also have links in those old videos to a pattern from Robert Kaufman that is a free pattern, and you can use templates to make the block. So you don't have to have a die cutter to make this block. And I guess all of my moderators except for Kevin is over in Tiffany's live. So I saw she was live earlier today. Make sure I got new people coming in. Darcy says, my friend wants a quilt with Christmas fabric and she wants it where you can see the pattern. Also, this is a very good pattern. Yes. You want to see the fabrics, but you want some kind of a design. C-Rex is here, says, hello everyone, feeling good after testing positive for COVID on Monday, mild symptoms. Thank you, God. Well, I'm so sorry that you tested positive for that. And I'm glad that your symptoms are mild and stay that way. So good for you. Be praying they stay that way. Carla says, I just got my fabric for Cleopatra fan blocks. That's awesome. I actually enjoyed making these blocks. The first 18 I really enjoyed because they were all unique fabrics. And then the last 18, it was like, I think I got bored with them because I was making duplicates of my block. And if I should have just kept making random blocks instead of trying to make duplicates. But I want to do a whole nother fabric combination at this point. So I do like my blocks. And this was just a test. I didn't care if I liked it or not, but I ended up liking it. But I'm looking forward to, at some point in my life, I'm not going to do it right away. It won't be in 2020 because I got so many other things I got to work on. But I do plan to make more Cleopatras. I will not get rid of that die. Sometimes a die is a one and done type die, but I enjoyed this block. A lot of people are praying for C-Rex. Betsy says, I just got done putting the bindings on 2 quilts and working on my temperature Afghan now. Yeah, that's going to get big fast. Virgie is here. She says, hello, T and everyone. Hi, Virgie, and welcome. So now I got my 2 down there sewed together. I'm going to go ahead and press this seam open. Nisi Mas here says, hey, T and everybody, welcome. Celia says, I'm cutting jeans into circles to make a manly man quilt. I want to do the circles with the cathedral windows or with jeans. I've been collecting jeans for years and got so many of them. I need to just start cutting so I can get rid of the excess jeans or something. Janet says, I've been decking the halls looking like Christmas here. That's nice. I haven't decided if I'm going to decorate. Like, I normally decorate my whole house, but I don't think I feel like doing that. I would decorate it, and then when it's time to take it down, that's when the problem comes in. So I think what I might do is just put up a few Christmas quilts, put one on my bed, and call it a day, but not decorate the entire house. Karen says, I'm going to sew some binding on, hopefully 2 quilts. Well, at least sew it on the front if I can drag myself off the lounge. Kevin says, girl, you know I am fondling fabric. I guess I need to stop and moderate laughing out loud. That is too funny. I think you're the only one in here. What else? Oh, Kevin is also working on Bonnie Hunter's sew along. He got his yesterday. The first actual sewing clue came out. She had an intro, and then she's got part 1. And Kevin's got all of his part 1 done, which is awesome. Well, she says, my husband hung up the Christmas lights today, and I was very happy. That's nice. I used to hang them outside, and then the squirrels would bite them, so I stopped putting them out there. June Hansen is here, says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, June, and welcome. Jackie says, I'm putting up my interior decorations. Outside is done. Needed something to lift my spirits. Yes. Mario says, I started my holidays cooking pie crust, fruit cakes, meat pies, tied 2 pork roasts, grind 4 pounds of pork meat, cut several vegetables. Freezer is full, yes. And my freezer and refrigerator is so full. I let it get so empty. And then in 2 days, I bet I spent about $700 on food because I was trying to make sure I had gotten most of the old meats and stuff eaten before I went and bought meat. I've decided that I'm gonna go straight from farm to table instead of purchasing from meats from the grocer anymore. And so I wanted to get most of my older meats done. So I'm enjoying that. I've eaten only 1 piece of the new meat so far, and it is drastically different. I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole nother issue. Some of you all are probably vegetarians. But it's interesting about the meat industry. So I've learned a lot about it. Cheryl says, wait a minute, I missed somebody. Hold on. Carol says, I am mainly watching others quilt, trying to get motivated to complete my UFOs, mug rugs, Cleo fans, and Scraptastic Calm in the Chaos. I think that's how you say it. I'm blocking, but I'm interested in what that quilt is. That's why. So let me take a screenshot. I'll look that last one up. I knew about all the other ones, but I don't know about that one. Vanessa Brown says, beautiful blocks. I am finishing 2 deco mesh Christmas wreaths for a friend. That's pretty cool. And Kim is still moderating for Tiffany. Cheryl says, I'm working on fabric foundation piecing mini quilt by Beth Maddox called Grandma's Teapot, using Christmas fabrics. Teapot, I'm thinking, using Christmas fabrics for my kitchen. And I saw somebody was doing like a sew along, and it was like they were using poinsettias where you just use Sharpie markers and you actually drew with Sharpie markers onto your muslin background, and then they're going to do a different quilting design in each one. I thought that was pretty cool. Joanne Parker is here, says hi T and everyone. Hi Joanne and welcome. Jackie says, Mario, are you going to make sugar pies? I have those already in the freezer along with meat pies. Diane 57 is here. Hi Diane. She says hi T and T Quilters. Joy says, Kevin, you are an inspiration. Wow, T, that's a lot of half square triangles. Yes, it was. I think it was about 28 sets of 8 half square triangles in each set. Yeah, it was something. I read it and I kept right on moving. Susan says, I'm working on crooked courthouse steps and log cabin ornaments. That's pretty cool. Mary says, I want to buy part of a side of meat. And that's what I was originally looking for, but this person doesn't do that. But he did say that he was going to start selling like packages so that you could get a discount that way. Kevin says, I had some wonderful meatloaf the other day, courtesy of a good friend. Laughing out loud. See, he's acting up again. And that's what I was expecting him to tell y'all on Wednesday, because I said, he's a mess. Kevin is a mess. Diane says, yes, it is so much better to get fresh butchered meat. Damali says, I'm keeping it simple, so one string of lights around the inside windows, easy removal. Yes. Kevin says 184 half square triangles all together. That's from Bonnie Hunter's Quilt Loan. Joyce Baker says Helen Godden doing the poinsettia quilt loan. Yes, and I couldn't remember her name, so thank you so much, because I don't really follow her, but I think she is doing a wonderful job. I think it's great. And she did something similar last year, and the actual sewing of the machine quilting, you need to be ready to go for December 1st when she'll start quilting in the first space. And then every day, I guess, up to Christmas. I don't know if it goes to the 31st because I haven't read it, but when I saw it, I thought that was a great idea. But every day, she's going to come and tell you where to put a design and what design goes in it. So that's pretty cool. And thank you, Joyce, for her name. Darcy is talking to Kevin, said, my meatloaf always tastes plain, even if I put some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue in it. Wow. Girl, it's easy to make meatloaf. I don't know. Well, I put everything. See, I'm one of those cooks that I don't care about the recipe. I just start putting stuff in the meatloaf for its seasonings and stuff. I like seasoning, so I just start putting seasonings in. Mario goes, I love meatloaf. Yes. The Scraptastic quilt is somewhat of a therapy quilt sew along. Okay, because I'll look it up. Thank you, Carol. Sheila says that I'm working on Cleo block. They're working me to death. Sometimes it goes along well, and today I'm having issues with everything. And sometimes you just have those kind of days where you just got to put it down, and that's the days that I said, okay, we're going to sew strings. Because if you know how to do it, you know it should work, you cut it right because you die cut it, then you know it's you doing something off kilter. If I'm not on this camera in front of y'all, then I just go do something else. If I'm here and obligated to the task at hand, then I'll go ahead and try to stick to it. But when I'm having those type of days, when one thing keeps giving me trouble, I just go do something else. Bessie says, back in April, we bought half a pig. It has been wonderful. Almost all gone. Yes. And the meat is just so much different from what you're getting in the grocery stores. I'm just telling you. If you don't know, you've never had meat from a farmer, you might want to try try one of your large farmer markets and see if you can find somebody there that has meat. You're gonna be impressed if you are a meat eater. Kevin says Darcy asked T for her meatloaf recipe. Oh, he's laughing out loud. He's telling her to get it. Darcy, just email me. I'll tell you what I put in my meatloaf. I'm not going to go through all that here because I have to think about it because, like I said, I don't have a recipe and I just start putting stuff in the meatloaf that tastes good. So, but I will tell you how to make the meatloaf. Rhonda says, hello, T and everyone. T, when do you do the cathedral quilt? Can you do it as a sew along? I want to make one using my father's jeans and plaid shirts. He died earlier this year. So, and that's been something that's been on my agenda for a year. So I don't know when that's going to come out, but just somebody mentioned it. It reminds me that I have, about 2 or 3 storage totes full of jeans that I've been saving to make one. So it's not on my agenda to-do list yet, but if I do, I will let you all know either through video uploads or sew along. Cheryl says, sorry about that. The pattern is called Grandma's Tea Party by Beth Maddox. Okay, thank you for the name because somebody might be looking for it. And Sandra Weston is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Sandra, and welcome. So let's go ahead and press this before this iron go off again. These automatic shut-offs. And you all cannot see me iron because this Bernina is so huge. And also, do you all hear the mic tonight? Somebody can let me know that too. Make sure it's working. Okay, thank you, Darcy. And I tend to get quiet when I'm over here ironing, so. And then you all don't have anything to look at, so. Well, you have plenty to look at, all this stuff, but you have nothing coming from me verbally. Turn this around, do the other side. And on this, it takes a little longer because I'm pressing the seam open on that center seam. Just because I didn't want to be messing around with where it was going to fall once I started sewing my blocks together. Okay. So I'm going to go back and get my rows, box 1 and 2. And sew that onto here because this is number 3. Got Joyce Rockamores here. She says, howdy, everyone. Hi, Joyce, and welcome. Phyllis G is here saying hi to everyone. Kevin says, Mike is loud and clear, miss. Thank you so much. I don't hear it. It's one of those mics that I got the whole press stick I'm sitting on. It's one of those mics that only enhances your device, and so it's not like I can hear it, so that's why I'm checking. So thank you guys for letting me know. Diane says, I don't have a recipe for my meatloaf either. I'm like, T, I just put stuff in and cook it. I do have like a base of how I start, and so like breadcrumbs of any, and I'll tell you what I use, but breadcrumbs to 1 pound of meatloaf, I always add 1 cup of ground breadcrumbs. So if I have my beef, 2 pounds, then I'm adding in 2 pounds of breadcrumbs. So I do stuff like that. So I'll tell it to you. Just email me and then I'll type it out for you because I don't have it typed out. And I'm a pinner. I told you all I like to pin, make sure my stuff's where I want it to be so I have no surprises at the end. Sue says she's just come in. She says, how is everyone doing this beautiful evening? Going through books for tomorrow. It's bookcase, first bookcase down. Wow. I'm meeting her tomorrow to get books. And I'm going to have them at retreats for people to read. And then at the end of, or to peruse. And then at the end of the retreat, if you want a book, you can take a book. I've been collecting books and patterns from my friends who are cleaning their stuff. And so it's going to be, I probably have, I'm just going to guess and say about 20. And so it's nice that Sue is donating to that. So I'm going to be able to increase that and you get more choices. But you only get to leave with one book. So we can have them for other people at other retreats. So I go to about 3 to 4 retreats a year. So I just plan to bring books for people. Might be something you were looking for, you couldn't find. Okay, I lost my snippers behind the phone. I want to keep these two together temporarily. Just wanted to get that weight off. Mario says very loud and clear. I turned down my volume. Yes, I don't have a problem hearing the playback, but I've had a couple of people and I just think it's their devices. So, and I even cut the mic down from last week so it's not turned up. So I tell people I have a big mouth. People don't normally have problems hearing what I'm saying. Whatever's in the fridge goes in the meatloaf. Surprise. Every time. Now, that's the one thing I don't do is I don't clean the refrigerator out with my meatloaf. And I do know people that do that, but I have never done that. I've always made my meatloaf from, fresh ingredients. But I do know people that do that. But I'm not one. So it's like, how did I take the whole press stick last time and then I'm sitting on it? Like, why is my seat lumpy? I got butterfingers today. I can't get my seams open. Oh, this wasn't even supposed to go that way. This was supposed to be pressed to one side. I'm just wasting time. This one gets pressed to this other side and then the center seam gets pressed open. All right. Rhonda says, T, you are so right about the difference between store-bought meat and farm kill meat. The same with fish. Fresh is not fresh if it wasn't caught that day. Now I don't know about fish because I've only had I've only had shrimp. That's the only one that I've had fresh in a day. But I'm telling you, the difference in the meat is remarkable, and it don't have to be the same day. Just the fact of how they're raising them and how they make your meat compared to our grocers. I learned real quick that the grocers are putting a whole lot of fat in it to extend the meat range. So you pay for a lot more fat. Diane says, so beautiful, T. Thank you, Diane. So I'll have to start pulling fabrics to see what I'm going to do about the border on this. And I don't know if I'm going to have that figured out by next week. But we shall see what I'll be sewing next week. Or maybe I'll be back to cutting these half square triangles I got hanging over here. I cut about 150 of them. I cut 100 on camera with you guys, and then I cut another 50, and then I also pulled out another 50. But I haven't cut those. Gwen Spencer is here, says hello to you and everyone. Hi Gwen, and welcome. Darcy says, I just accidentally went off and I see there are 71 people here and there are only 45 thumbs ups. Remember to do it. Darcy gets on you all about those thumbs up. Some devices you can't do it if you're actually watching the live. You've got to go out and do it and then come back in. So it is a little inconvenient. That's why a lot of people, they hit it before they even come in. Who is next? Mario says, I have an electric grinder and grind all the meat I need. Yes, that's the best thing to do. And I saw that he had said that he had ground his roast, his meat. So that's pretty cool. And that might be the next thing that I do. Although I bought like a test order of meat, and I bought sausage patties, and they did it right. It's done right. They were really good. No fat was added. Matter of fact, I had to add butter to cook it in. So they did it right. Roberta is here. She says, hi, T and Teaquilts. Hi, Roberta, and welcome. Make sure I got all those pins. Sometimes if my pins are back far enough, I don't pull them out. I don't sew over pins. Or I try not to. As soon as I set it, I went over it by one stitch. I like that I'm left-handed because I can put my pins a little back a little ways. They're not right on the edge. Virgie says, so far, 2 pounds meat, 2 pounds breadcrumbs. Right, 4 eggs. If you're doing 2 pounds, you put 4 eggs, 2 eggs per pound. Joanne says, thanks, Darcy, for the thumbs up reminder. Diane says, I was making a design board today. That's fun, too. And needed. Mario says, I listen with headphones. Okay, so that's why his was up loud. Rhonda says, Diane, how do you make your design board? What did you use? Kevin says, and meatloaf is even better the next day on a sandwich. Yes, he ate his cold because I had it the night before for my dinner. I actually made meatballs for me and my husband. So that's what I started with, was making meatballs. And then I had filled the whole cookie sheet, or the tray I had it in. Not really a cookie sheet because you want something that's shallow, but not a cookie sheet. And so I had leftover, and so I just poured it into a loaf pan, and it was only about 3/4 to an inch thick. But I knew I was going to see Kevin the next day. So I said, you know what? I'm going to fix this up for Kevin. And, yep, that's what he did. Lisa Peggs here. She says, hello, Miss T and quilting friends. Not my meatloaf, Kevin, unless you have a 50-gallon drum of keys up. Ketchup, not key up, ketchup. Geez, yes. I was like, huh? Kim Burris is here. She says, hi, TNT Quilter. Sorry I'm late. Hi, Kim, and welcome. Vicky Lemire is here. Heather Smicky is here. She says, hello, Miss T and everyone from Australian Day. Hello, and happy Australian Day. Diane says, I got some foam board cut to size. So she's telling how she did that, and she just glued batting to it. I still have to bind it, which is the part nobody likes to do. You can use it as long as you got the batting on there, so just go for it. A lot of people are saying hello to the new people that entered. Karen is talking to Heather. She says, I am in Sydney and it's just awful weather. T, is the meat from the local meat place close to St. Louis? No, it's actually in Mexico, Missouri, Kim. Heather says, I always do thumbs ups and saves videos. Well, thank you. That's so sweet. And it was beyond appreciated, T. That's Kevin talking about that meatloaf. Kevin loves to eat, if y'all haven't figured that out yet. Love, love, love leftover meatloaf. That's from Mary. I tend to like all of my food for the most part the second day, because the seasonings get into it, like greens and meatloaf, soups, anything like that. I tend to like the second day because the seasonings have marinated even better. Vicky says, I'm doing something in link in pinks and white. I don't know. Maybe that's she says Joram chain or something. Joram chain link in pinks and whites. I don't know what that is either. Says Kim, my mom used to make an extra meatloaf just so my dad had it for sandwiches. Now that's awesome. Judy says meatloaf is my favorite sandwich. Francesca Fino. Hi, Francesca. I haven't seen you in a minute, girl. She says hello, T and everybody. Rhonda says, okay, Diane, sounds easy enough. Tiffany is here. She says, hi, T and friends. My life ran into your time, and I didn't even know what time it was, but I'm here 50 minutes late. Diane's talking to Kevin, and people are saying hello. So I'm going to go press this seam on. No, I got to sew another block because the seam I'm pressing on, well, I could press this and I can sew these 2 rows together. We may not get all the blocks sewed today, but we'll have 2/3 of our quilt done. I only got 2 more blocks to piece now. But hey, let's go ahead and sew these 2 rows together instead. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. I'm pressing the wrong seam. I don't know how I did that. Didn't go down far enough. Put that right back. All right. So I'll be pinning for like 13 years now to put these 2 pieces together. So this bro. Okay. Trying to find where I left off, guys. Teresa Louise, I Quilt 2 is here. She says, hi, T and friends. Hi, Teresa, and welcome. Heather says, she's talking to Karen, but she says she's in Queensland, near Brisbane, and certainly is very hot here. Heather says, I had my first meatloaf made about 25 years. Wow. This is one of those things that I grew up on, and I continue to make it when I got my own home. It's just, and I do like it. So there are some things I grew up eating, and I'm kind of afraid to eat again. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to ruin my childhood memory. And it's like, I don't think so. Kim says that red is beautiful and it looks great on you. Red is actually my favorite color, but then like in quilting, I do change my colors up. But red is actually my favorite color to wear. Although I've had a baby pink also looks good on me, but I still just like red. Red is just my favorite color. But I do gravitate toward other colors when I'm quilting. I kind of change about every 3 or 4 years. I'll change my favorite quilting color. My favorite color never changes. I feel like my quilt grew 30 feet now. Trying to see if anybody is talking to me. Mary is wondering if Eric Oda is having to work from home again. I hope not. I hope it's not that bad for him that he has to go back through that. Sandra says, T, as your quilt is coming together, do you like it more and more? Yes, I didn't even know I was going to like it at all. But as I was making the blocks and putting them on my design wall, I liked them more. And then when I got to Betsy's house where I laid them out, for some reason, I was just gravitating back towards my random layout that I had on my design wall. Although I liked some of the other ones, I just like this one better because it kept it more modern. When I tried to make circles with them, I felt like it was competing with the modern look. And so I just went back with my haphazard layout of colors. Still got 2 more blocks to pin here. T, is your mic cordless or wired? It's cord. It's talking through a transmitter that's inside of my iPad, and then I have this mic on me with another transmitter that's on me. So it's cordless. It's not plugged into the other end. and you charge them, so you don't have to even worry about buying batteries. They are chargeable, and they say they last like 5 hours, but I have not gone 5 hours. I will be charging mine after every live just to make sure, because if I try to do it every other one or something like that, I'll forget. So I have to keep it on schedule. As soon as I take it off, I just put it on a charger. Mary is talking to Tiff. Dorsey says, pinning takes a bit, but it makes sewing a lot easier. Yes, it does. Nice scarf tonight, T. It matches your shirt. Thank you. Yes, get that on, Mary. Sue says, favorite meal is meatloaf and mashed potatoes. And that's what I normally make with my meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans. But I did not have potatoes because I had let all the food run out on that time before I met Kevin. So I actually had it with rice, and it was really good. I use a tomato paste or ketchup. You can start with ketchup if you don't want to use tomato paste. I forgot who said lots of ketchup, but you can start with ketchup. And then I make like a little sauce that you can put on it, and you add milk. And you could season it if you want to, but I don't normally have to. And then I put that over my meatloaf. So then when I put it on my rice or mashed potatoes, I use some of that sauce on my rice or mashed potatoes. It's really good. And that I really don't measure. I have absolutely no idea. And Mary says, T, you look good in turquoise also. Thank you. And I do get behind on comments, guys, because I am sewing and you all chat a lot. So it's hard for me to keep up. But I will try to read your comments. Tiffany says, it's well worth the work, T. I have to finish mine. It's put aside till I finish my clients' quilts. Yes, and I haven't been doing any sewing other than coming in here. So you guys are helping me to do that because I'm also quilting on clients' quilts. I've quilted 4 quilts, 5 with one of my own this week. So I probably will go ahead and do a video tomorrow. I still got quilts to do, but I'm going to probably go ahead and end November so I can get the video recorded, because then I have to find time to edit it. And so I think I'm going to record tomorrow. Don't go over the pin. Almost there. 2.5 blocks left. That's the thing about pins. You put them in, you got to take them out. That's why sometimes I cheat and put them back a little bit further. But if I needed to help keep an area flat, then I have to put it closer to the edge. And I'm not needing to do that. I just know that these are biased edges, and I don't want to take a chance of these edges moving. That's the one advantage to cutting from templates, is that you'll know for sure that all of your straight of grain is on the outside edge of your block. But I'm still grateful because I cut very fast and got this stuff done. So that one's back. Whoops. Take that pin out. And there we go. So now I need to pull up block number 8 so I can sew off. Right here. Hi, Claudette Bettis. She says, hello, T and everyone. Heather says, T, is the quilt for yourself or a customer? This is my quilt. I don't know what I'm doing with this quilt at this point. I'm just making it. I just started sewing it as a part of the sew along. So it doesn't have a plan yet. Although I could use it for a workshop where I bring the dye and let people cut, because it doesn't take long if they prep their fabrics. And then I can go a little early too and let people cut. And then I tend to ask if, you know, on the class supply list, I say if anybody else has die cutting machine and has the dye, if you're willing to bring it to class to share, would be great. And some people do that too. So it's not just mine, not just one in the room. I usually get at least one, sometimes two. Other people will bring them. And they've already pre-cut theirs at home, so that helps. You know, different people, we all learn different ways. Some people like learning from in-class demos where you're just standing there making sure that they're doing it all correct. So just depends on how people like to learn. Even though I have the video, some people don't want to do that because they have to start and stop it so many times. So when you're in a class and you've got a 6 to 7 hour class, you got plenty of time to get all the steps in that time period. Okay, so let's cut off this weight. And I don't think I'm going to press this, but I'll just lay it there so I can show you. I'm going to go to my big ironing station after the live and press that. But I will show it to you. That's a good chunk of it now. Time is it? So we've been on about an hour. I came on about 3 minutes late today. I didn't even know I was 3 minutes late. I thought I was on time. By the time I rebooted all my devices, I guess it took me another 3 minutes. Get my ends together here. Okay, so let's see what these 2 rows look like. I'll have to press it at a bigger surface, but you're definitely not going to be able to see all of this. Woo! It's just bigger. Very nice. I'm just gonna lay it over here. So when I get the other row done, I can add it on. Okay, that's number 8. And we're on the last block, number 9. We'll start pinning this one. Darcy says red is her favorite color. Tiffany says that she thinks she needs to get her a mic too. I have all kinds of mics, but I was looking because I have my other mic that I have. I think it's a headphone mic, and you have to have a receiver for it. And I wasn't about to be pulling up receivers. It was just too much work when I was using a mic with a receiver. And now they have them where they just fit right into your devices, so it makes it a lot easier. But the hard part of it is I don't know if it's working or not. You all have to tell me. So all I do is cut stuff on and just pray it's working until I have to ask somebody, is it actually working? Go ahead and pin this one. Yogi Castillo is here. She says, hi, beautiful lady. Hi, Yogi. Thank you so much. Welcome to the chat. Get a couple more pins here. And she also says, hi to all the beautiful quilting people. It's really sweet. Heather says, T, you look good in whatever you wear. Well, thank you, Heather. Jacqueline Devon here. She says, T, AccuQuilt has new dies out. I just ordered 12 dies in my first order. And second order, 8 more dies. They are on sale. Awesome. I hope you use my links, girl. So I can get some credit for that. But yes, I have been posting some of the stuff that they have. The big thing that they had was at one point you could have, on Black Friday for sure, you could have gotten that Go for $150. I thought that was really a great way to go. But that was only for, I mean, it ended yesterday. It wasn't on there today. Now they've got 20% off, which is not the same. Those pins were in there good. So yeah, I'm trying to wait for them to put studio dies and see if it's anything I might want. I don't even have a list of studio dies. What I don't like is that they don't do a lot of block on boards on the studio dies until years later, if they do at all. And I prefer to cut with studio than my Go, just because I can cut more layers. Especially since I do scrappy cutting, I need to make sure I'm utilizing as much space as I can. So even though I have the Go Big, I still prefer my studio to cut. So I want to see some of those dies on the studio boards, but I don't want to buy repeats. It's all the way over here. I never put these things in the same space. I have a pocket in front of me. You think I would put them in there, but I don't. I'm going to put them in there right now. Teresa says, thanks again, T. I'm going to hit the hay. Too blue today. Love to everyone. Bye, Teresa. Thank you so much for stopping in. Mario says, any news about the block exchange in December, T? Not yet. I haven't even had time to look. I was going to try to find a video that I already had, but I think most of my videos are 12-inch blocks, and I was trying not to do another 12-inch block. But I'm also thinking maybe 12-inch will be okay, because we're going to limit the number of blocks you can send in to maybe like 24 blocks. And then you just exchange with those 24. The first, however it runs, you just get a number. And say if you're number 1, you get blocks 1 through 24. If you're number 25, you get blocks, 2 through 25 or whatever. So I'm going to do something like that. But I haven't had time to I just thought maybe 12 inches isn't bad if we limit the number. So, and I haven't gone back to look and see what I already have available. Joanne says, I was in school this semester, and next week when semester ends, I will work on some UFOs and a baby shower quilt. That'll be fun. Yogi says, we have 67 thumbs up and more people watching. Please thumbs up. Thank you, Yogi. The Molly says, T, I use a magnetic pen holder. Stops me from losing them when I toss them. Yeah, you put it on yourself. These are pretty heavy. And these are gingers, and these things could probably be dangerous. I don't know if I want them on my chest. But maybe I need to. I hate messing up the face of my machine, putting stuff on it. But I may have to just go ahead and get me a sticky back magnet and put it on my machine. And then I'll have it. You know, put them somewhere up in here where I'll have it. But then I don't know. These magnetic, they say that the computerized machines are not affected by magnetics like they used to be when they first came out. So I don't know. I have to think about that. Darcy says, that is so terrible, laughing out loud. That's amazing, T. Oh, wow. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Love all the colors. That's when I was holding up the quilt. I'm way behind, guys. People are saying that's beautiful, pretty. Gwen Spencer gave me $1.99. Says cool. Thank you, Gwen. That is a pretty quilt from Rhonda. Craig Berletti says hello, watching with my mom. Hi, Craig, and welcome to the channel. Hold on. Let's see who else is here. Yogi says, I'm getting a bike for my health. Sad is I don't know how to ride it. Any ideas where I can get training wheels for a dump bike? Now that's funny. I still have my bike. I just went and purchased a seat for it. You know, and when I went to the bike store, it was so funny. Little young guy walks up and he says, hi, can I help you? And I said, do you have bike seats for, oh no, I said, do you have orthopedic bike seats? He's like, yeah, follow me. So I got me a seat my husband got to put on there, but I do want to ride. But I mostly got it set up so I'll be ready for next spring. But, yeah. I got to do a whole lot of walking before I decide to get on the bike because I have a boy bike and you got to go over the crossbars. I'm like, I don't even know if I can lift my leg that high. So I'm going to start doing, I like walking videos. So I'm going to do that starting in January. It's like, why rush now? I'll wait till January. Then by spring, when I go out with my bike, my legs will be ready. And I forget that I had a mic on. I'm over here talking louder. Don't want my iron to fall off of here. Hold on. One more seam. That old dreaded middle. Where all the seams coming up to the middle. Make that nice and flat. Okay. So this is block number 7. Can you all hear my steam iron? Over here making all that noise. couple more presses here and I'll be back in my seat. See if I can get caught up a little bit more. And Kevin goes, we need to add to our dies, don't we, Miss T? Laughing out loud. I'm going to come get half the money from you. Yogi says, yes, more dies. Sheila says, some of the dies are 20% off, and they will get another 15% off if you use the code CYBER15. I did see that. But so they're done with the buy one, get one half off then, I guess. Because... yeah, that changed today. I did notice that. Thank you, Sheila, for the reminder. It did. Just go dies only. Tiffany says, yes, I'm going to look for one, Heather, and a new stand. Mario says, I thought a block exchange involved only one block. That is too funny. Mario, when you do a block exchange, what happens is everybody gets a block from everybody that's participating unless I limit the number, which is what I'm going to do this time, because last time I didn't limit the number and we had 40 something people participate in that block swap. It was almost 50 because people made 50 blocks, but you ended up getting a few of them back. I think it was like 5 or less we got back. So what happens is you get a block from everybody that participated in a swap for the most part, and that way you can make a quilt, and you can make a quilt from all of those blocks and say that they all came from your cyber friends. So that's what a block swap is. You can do a block swap where you just swap one block. Some people, instead of swapping one block, they might swap like mini quilts, no larger than 20 by 20. Some people have done that as well. So, but it could go that way. But ours, we tend to make multiple blocks and then we sort them out and give people however many you send in, that's what we send you back. But I'm going to be doing a maximum that people can send in, because when we were sorting those 40 something blocks that Kevin and I had to do, it was ridiculous. It was just way too many blocks for us to be mucking around with. So we don't want to do that again. So we're going to limit the number this time. And Sheila says that still goes to 11/30/20, which is Monday. Jackie says, good night all, time for some shut-eye. See you all Wednesday. Take care. Stay safe. Bye, Jackie. Tiffany's talking to Mary. Says, my brain is overloaded with multitasking. Jackie says, T, I used one of those clear rubber soap dishes with nubs sticking out over it. Kept it on my machine bed. Keeps my wood seam ripper from rolling off too. Found at Dollar Tree for $1. Okay, so she says the clear rubber soap dish with nubs sticking out over it. I have not seen that. I'll take a picture and go from there. Okay, so let's see. What do I have? Oh, 2 blocks that need, this is my block number 8. I need to sew together. See, once I make the picture, then I didn't need to use it, right? If I had printed that picture and had it here last Saturday, my block number 3 wouldn't have been a problem. Connie is here saying, hello all, T, you look great in red. Thank you so much, Connie. Welcome to the chat. Do this center. And I think I'm gonna meet with Sue tomorrow, but then I'm also going to drop off some quilts. I have 2 more quilts of this same ladies to quilt, but I think I'm gonna take a break because these are charity quilts that she's having me quilt, the last 2. And she didn't need these 4. She had 8 total. I gave her the 2 she needed right away. And then I'm giving her 4 more. I'm one of those people that once I have somebody's work in my house, I can't sleep knowing I got their stuff in my house. So, but I'm going to get her those 4 so I can get them out of my space. And I'm going to videotape that tomorrow and then drop those off and then meet Sue. I also was looking for a monster pattern on Facebook. I found it, so I'll probably go get it tomorrow. The lady was selling like a 9 or 10 piece pattern pack for like $10, but then she had it discounted for $5. So it's on the way to Jackman. So I'll go pick that up. And she said she was going to give it to me for free. Because she took her a while to get back to me. But we'll see. I don't really care if she wants $5 for it. I'll give her $5. So. No other comments? Okay. Just checking. And I guess I got number 9 back there I need to press. I think. Yep. If you put the scissors up, you'll know where they are. Janet Guthrow is here. She says, woohoo, I made it just in time. Just finished my Thanksgiving celebration. Hello, everyone. Hi, Janet, and welcome. Lisa says, the Sandman is singing to me. Guess it's bedtime. Hope to see you Wednesday. Stay safe and happy. Bye, Lisa. See you next time. Sue says, 5 a.m. comes early. Night all. See you tomorrow, T. Bye, Sue. And other people are saying good night to Lisa and Sue. What time is it? Still got a half hour. All right, last block to actually piece. Last seam. And then we just have that last row to sew together and then add to the 2/3. And it'll be 72.5 inches square once I'm done with my center. And then I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with the borders. I just decided to wait until it was all done. I'll pull some stuff out of my stash, see if anything works, and just go from there. I do have the majority of these fabrics on bolts. So a lot of it was new fabric. So I know I can pull some stuff in. And I do have another fabric that's a tone on tone that I didn't even use. So I might end up using that one to offset this. But it definitely won't be white. One more pin. Sandra says good night all. Happy peace and good night, Sandra. Kayla is here, says hello T and everyone. Just got my tree in the house. I will decorate it tomorrow. That's fun. So you have a live tree, Kayla? Looks like Janet saying good night all. Enjoy. Stay safe. Good night, Janet. Ah! I wasn't even paying attention. It sold right over the pit. I want to be inspired to go sew. Okay, that's Janet, to go sew. Don't do that again. I forget how fast this Bernina sews. Just looked at the pen and went right over it. Okay. Kayla says, yes, it's real. Picked it up from a tree farm. That's pretty cool. Connie, I jumped. Right, because I got this mic on. It probably was even louder. I jumped because I was mad at it. I wasn't even paying attention. I just went out, zoned out over here. Okay. Gotta find, I'm gonna chain piece on a block since I need something to sew on. I can't wait to see this put together. Simple, but I think it'll be pretty. Okay. So now I got all three of my blocks ready. Just need to press now. I'm still laughing at Connie when she said she jumped. Press the other side here. Number 8. We just might make it. Who knows? I'm going to stay on here anyway until I get it done. Even if I'm by myself. To the point where now I don't want to come back and do another week on this step. So. Ouch. theme got me. Turn it the other way. All right. Nine and 8. See what I missed. My brother said, I will still be with you, sis. Don't you have church in the morning? Let's see. Mario says, I have to go see you all on Wednesday. Hugs for everyone. Thanks, Mario, for your support. Appreciate you. I love live trees, but I'm allergic. That's from Kim. Sin Forrester says, she says, good night, T, and everyone. Hugs. Hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Yes, hope you did too. Mary says, I love live trees, but Gabby had one since we got those cats. Oh, haven't had one since they probably had the cats. Missed most of this lovely chat. 2 of my kids have birthdays, have stopped by. That is awesome. Happy birthday to them. Pamela Taper says, hi, T. Just popped in briefly. Hi, Pamela. Welcome. Let's see what's underneath. Jenny says, okay, dumb question, but why do you sew the other thing at the end? Let's say that when I first started sewing these, I was working on string blocks, and I probably have, just by sewing that one extra string and not cutting my thread, I probably have about 50 of those blocks already sewn. You tend to work on your next project while you're working on the current one, and then you're not wasting thread, and you're actually sewing instead of a scrap piece of fabric that some people will sew on. You're actually sewing on a piece. I actually started quilting like that because I hated breaking my thread, knowing that it was going to go down into the plate hole where your needle goes in, because back then we didn't even have those little single needle hole plates. So that's why it gives me a jump start on my next project. So how can I get in the swap? In what pattern? I'm deciding that now, and it will be a video in December talking about the swap that will start in January and it will end at some point in March. I need to look at the calendar to see what the dates, but it'll probably be toward the middle to end of March. So you have almost, well, you should have a total of 3 months to get them done. But officially it starts in January. But if I'm putting the information out in December, you're getting it early, so you could technically start it early. I just need to figure out what block would be good for us to swap, that where my instructions are good enough that a beginner could do it as well. So that's what I'm going to be looking for when I look at my video list. I'm just going to pick one of the videos I already have up because I don't have time to make a video for it. I might end up doing a video in the sewing chats, but sewing chats is hard for people to watch just to get instructions for a block, because I'm talking to you guys as well. Whereas you all enjoy it. If you're watching an upload and you don't know, if you don't have a rapport with any of the people in the chat room, then you don't even really care about what's going on. Most of you all in here will watch the live uploads if you miss it, because you want to make sure you keep up on what's going on. But I just like to do project videos, try to put them on the outside by themselves where I'm not on here for an hour. So I'm just going to pick a video because I don't have time to record one and then edit it. And then I'll probably just sew the block while I'm doing a sewing chat or something like that. So I got this piece ironed on here. And I'm going to add this piece on next. No, this is not, this is a whole nother block. My pieces are over here. I'm going to just put my pen in this one piece so I know where it's at. And then press this block, and then I'll add this block 7 onto this. And this row will be complete. Press it though. Trying to get it up on my press stick here. All right, one more block on here and then our final row is done. Pamela says she's going to switch to her laptop. Kayla says, I have made 3 blocks and think I might do a table runner, but not sure on the quilting. I'm not sure on it either. I'm not invested in this like that. So I'm probably just going to do an all over pattern on here. I don't know. We'll see. I've got so many quilt tops that needs to be quilted that I just can't do any custom quilting. It's just too much. And then if I'm going to do custom quilting, I got other quilts that require custom quilting. So I don't know. If I do custom quilting, it's just going to go into a stack. And I'm trying to finish what I start and not increase my UFO number, you know? If I'm not working on the UFOs, I shouldn't be adding to the UFOs. But we'll see. I got to figure out the border yet. Backing made, but now it's break time. Then I'll cut some batting. I wanted to say I am so excited. Awesome. That's from Yogi. Janet says, okay, so what are strings? That makes sense about the thread with my featherweights, but don't mean to be dense, but new terms for me. Strings or crumbs are just pieces that are left over from other projects that you tend to sew together. So I just cut this fabric to put binding on a quilt, and so I had this much left over when I squared up the edge, and so because one end was kind of off when they cut it, and so I had enough to get some pieces like this, about 3 pieces off. I couldn't get a 4th one this wide, So it's just leftover string. So I collect stuff like this. It could be any size, don't matter what size they are, long as they're long enough for my project. And if I'm doing crumbs, it doesn't really matter. I'm just sewing crumb stuff together, just any little pieces of fabric. And I don't have any of them in here because I'm working on strings. Let me see. I thought I had a piece, but I don't know what I did with it. I had a piece left from that piece that I couldn't use, but I don't know what I did with it. Is this it? Yeah. Like this is a crumb. It still can be a string if you're making little mini blocks or little mini rows, but this is what I call crumbs, and I sew these little things together too and make crumb blocks. And I got some blocks up here. I just can't see the blocks I made earlier. I got them in the project box. But you just end up making like string blocks, whatever width you want. You can keep going. I think these in here are supposed to be up to 8 inches wide. I was trying to see if I had a crumb block. Yes, I do. And this is one where I just sew. I was talking about Wednesday where Kevin had given me a lot of pieces that were already like leftovers from other projects, half square triangles, 4 patches. I also just sew those into crumb blocks like that. Just anything that's laying in my space that'll fit, I just sew it together. And if it's too big, then I just chop it off, put it in another block. So that's kind of what's happening here. This is my overflow blocks in here from other projects. So that's strings. Back to sewing Miss Cleo. And I would definitely be piecing onto something, and if I'm using my featherweight. Get my piece off of here. Go ahead and press this. I want to press this one so I can get this ready to sew on here next. Connie, how would the swap work briefly? How many can do the swap? I might enjoy that. As many people as who wants to participate can do the swap. We will have rules about fabrics that you use. Want to make sure that they're what quilters would normally word as quilt shop quality fabrics. Also, your block size got to be within 1/4 of an inch of the finished size. We prefer it to be perfect. But we know that's not going to happen, so we give you 1/4 of an inch, either too short or too big. If it's more than that, then they won't get swapped, things like that. So you have a deadline to get them in. You have to send a self-addressed stamped envelope to get your blocks back. All of that will be in the fine details. And then I will let you know what block we're swapping. We'll be making the same block and then swapping them. So whatever you send in, if you send in 24 blocks, which will be the maximum number of blocks, then you'll get 24 blocks back from other quilters. And that's assuming that at least 24 people sign up. But I think we won't have a problem with that. Okay, my 3 blocks are now together. So on this. Strings and strips of fabric, then sew together. Strings or strips of fabric and then sew together. That's from Kim. Thanks, Kim, for helping. And when you're sewing them, Janet, you don't even have to worry about your seam being perfect. It's just free sewing. That's one of the reasons I like them. If I'm having difficulty with a difficult block I'm working on, I might just switch over and start sewing strings just to give myself a break. Like somebody was saying, their Cleopatra blocks weren't coming out tonight, but they've been coming out before. And I would switch to something else like strings to give me something that my seam allowance doesn't matter. This is a big accomplishment to get this thing done. It's 10:48 though. I'll be late. I'm going to put you all to bed tonight. It'll probably take me about 20 minutes because you know I got to pin it and then I got to take the pins out as I sew. So it'll take a few minutes. But I'm going to get this row on here so we got this center done tonight. Almost done. Get this last little corner. Okay. Here's block 7. It's too big. All right. Now let's see if I can prop this phone up here so I can read some of these comments while I'm pinning. On the swap, I will join another. I just hardly swapped out my extra blocks middles to black back. I don't know. No, I just have to trim them all the same. Oh, on the other swap that we did. Yeah. I haven't even put those together yet. A few people did and posted them in Facebook. But I bought fabric for it, but I haven't done a thing with it. You all got me busy sewing other stuff. Like this Cleopatra stuff was a request of UT Quilters. So I am not taking requests right now. I got stuff I need to get done. So I want to get this off my list, off my sew list anyway. At least I did not put it up in pieces, right? I would like to join the swap. Heaven knows I have plenty of fabric. Yes, Kim. She got enough fabric to make quite a few quilts. Vicky says, I'm trying to talk him into going to the ER. I hope he feels better. Janice says she's talking to Kim. Yogi says, talking to Tiffany. Connie's sorry to hear about Vicky's husband. Tiffany, talking to Vicky. I will be on like always tomorrow. Mary says, I thought when I first started listening to T's channel, it was a cooking show. That's funny. Probably because they were talking about pound cake, right? um, Darcy says, I thought almost everyone did a thumbs up. Remember to do that. Pretty good. Thank you, Darcy. She's on you guys. I'm gonna have to let me go up in here and make Darcy a moderator. You want to be a moderator, Darcy? Let me know. Janet says, OMG, I have bins and boxes of leftovers, have never known what to do with them. Yes, you just, and they can be the ugliest fabrics, and it doesn't matter in strings and crumb quilts. Just cut them up to any size. I have a die that will cut various different strip sizes. And then I even overhang it on the sides of the die so I can get even more sizes than what the die cut. So, yes. Joyce says, I plan to make time to swap blocks this time around. Well, thank you, Joyce. She says, that sounds like a fun thing to do. And I'm trying to get closer to you all. I'm at 10. Oh, it's not bad. I'm at the bottom. Mary says, the one on tour bed I'm in, I didn't know you made two. The one on your bed I meant. I think she's talking to somebody else. The Molly says, maybe you can make pillowcases with excess fabric. Great combo. That's nice too. Yogi says, I have a crochet pattern of Betty Boo on motorcycle. I want to make it into a quilt, but it has 200 rows down and 150 across. So if I make the blocks in 2x2, I think it'll be too big. Any ideas? It's just going to be big unless you're making half-inch finished squares. That that's one of those hard things to do. You can see if you can combine squares, but then you're like make bigger groupings of the same colors. Carla says, I would like to join the swap as well. That'd be pretty cool, and definitely want to be part of the block swap from C-Rex. Okay. All right. Let's get this last thing done. Let me see if I can find. I haven't heard from Darcy, but I'm gonna make her a moderator anyway. And I'm in for the swap. I never did it, so it will be exciting. Yes, Yogi. I gotta go back and find her now. I was waiting on her to talk to me, but we'll go ahead and. I don't want to put her in a timeout or nothing. I gotta make sure I hit the right button. Okay. All right. It should show up now, Darcy. Okay, sort of back. I am loading the long arm. Okay, got a couple more pins down here I can use. So, I'm going to be even later now. It's 10:56. Stopping to read comments. Darcy goes, what does a moderator do? You're already doing it. You're telling people to hit the thumbs up. If somebody posts something inappropriate, like a troll, then you can hide their comment. So you just got a little wrench next to your name. Should give Tom a wrench too. I have to find him. He hasn't commented in a while. I don't know if he's still here. This is just huge now. This should be pressed open. I don't know why it's not. Smack, smack that like a bunny, y'all. What is she talking about? Oh, I was like, what is she talking about? I think I need a nap. I couldn't go to sleep. Went to bed early yesterday, and that's what normally happens when I get in bed before I should be getting in bed, trying to go to bed early. And then I couldn't fall asleep. So I got up anyway. That's when I got up and cut this quilt from those fabrics from Judy. I was like, if I'm not going to sleep, I may as well do something productive here. So I ended up getting up about 4:30 and just cutting those. And then, of course, when it's time for me to get up, I'm ready to sleep all day. I think I got back in bed about, so 4:30, 5:30, so about 6, because it didn't take me long to cut those fabrics. It went pretty fast. Cindy Fleck is here. Hi, Cindy. Welcome. Kayla says, what do you think the size of it is now and what the finished size will be? It's 72.5 inches square right now. If it's going to be on a queen size bed, I tend to do 96 at least inches square finished. So that's my goal, is to make it so that I wanted these Cleopatra fans to be on top of the mattress. So that's why I made more blocks. Because originally I was going to use these fabrics and just play around with different types of blocks you could make. But then once I put the 16 blocks up, it just looked like it needed more blocks. So I continued to make blocks instead. Kayla says it's gorgeous. Thank you, Kayla. Heather says, I lost you. My fault, but I was asking T, how are you going to quilt it? I have no idea. I'm not going to custom quilt it because I just don't have time for that. So it will be some all over panto, but I'll try to find something that's really pretty. If I'm going to get into custom quilting it, I got so many already ahead of it that it will never get done. When I'm custom quilting, it takes me about 2 weeks once I get that quilt loaded to custom quilt. And so it just is not good for my time. So I'm not attached to it like that. I like it, but I'm not attached to it to custom quilt it. I might try to see if I can find something, if I got any kind of modern quilting designs. I don't know yet. I have to go look at my pantos. I'm going to just pop that over there for right now. And my scissors. Now my scissors, my snips are behind me, guys. So I'm telling you all, so when I go looking for them 15 minutes from now, like, where are my snips? You all can help me out. This didn't get pushed up enough. Just take the pin out. Okay. No more questions, so I can keep sewing. And I do like this, the newer style Berninas with those super giant bobbins. I love that. I don't run out of thread as much. Love these bobbins. I don't know what models they started using it in, but I'm sure glad it's in this one. T, are you going to have a t-shirt sale anytime soon? purposely did not have Black Friday, holiday, Christmas sale because I didn't want to be running back and forth to the post office during this time. And then this year is going to be really bad due to COVID. So I won't be doing anything this year. I normally do my t-shirt sales. I did it last year in like June. So maybe I'll hold off and just wait and do it in June. I have a t-shirt sale. And I'll try to do like the same prices I had before. I can't remember what I gave you all, but I thought it was like 25% off or something like that on some t-shirts. It was a few of them that I couldn't do that with because of the products that I use for it. Or the time it takes, like the So Busy Quilting. I think it was on sale, but it was another shirt I couldn't do on sale. I can't remember which shirt it was. I have to look and see what I did last year. But no time soon. And that's because I didn't want to be, when I was quilting, I didn't want to be bombarded with sale orders. And I still got one more quilt that's coming in that's got to be done for a customer by Christmas. And I still got 2 from another lady. They gave me a whole lot of them. So, and then I wanted to do some stuff for myself. I haven't even made Christmas cards this year. And I normally have those mailed. I would have mailed those yesterday. So I guess I'm not sending Christmas cards this year. Most of the time I was sending birthday cards during the year. They weren't making it. So I'm not motivated to make Christmas cards and have them get lost in the mail. So I spent a lot of time making cards, and then the majority of the people didn't even receive them. So about May, because I think I got to May, I just quit sending birthday cards. I said I can't do it. I'm not going to make them and then people don't get them. I even had some special requests, like one lady wanted some for her mother who couldn't get out and see the family, and so she was lonely. So I sent her one. It didn't arrive. Kevin's father had a big birthday year. I sent him one. It never arrived. It's a lot of work. And then they don't show up. Got to wait for that to heat up. In the interim, I'll sew another couple of pieces on here. We are not going to press this because I'm going to have to take this to my large iron, my ironing board, because it's big. So I won't be doing that on this little space, that long row. 72 inches is a bit much on a mat. I don't know. Now we're using these. Crazy, right? I'm sure they're under there somewhere. But at least we got it done. What time is it? It's 11:06. It's not bad. So what I just sewed is the bottom. So we've got it all done, guys. Just needs a good press on the rows. And we're done. So can't see it all, of course. If I put it up here, it tends to get in front of, it catches onto my thread that's in my machine and pull it out the tension. But we'll try it again anyway. But that's about as much as you're going to be able to see. Very pretty though. I love all the colors. Can't wait to, well, I don't know what I'm going to do for the borders, but I know it's got to be bigger. So I may put this on the back burner for a minute. But at least it's done. When I'm taking pictures, I'll try to take a picture of this so you can see the whole thing pieced. And put it in the completions video. So I'll take all my numbers off except for number 1, so I'll know what's the top. And then other than that, I'm going to hold off on that unless something comes to me that I really want to do and I figure it out. But I'll have to pull fabrics for that. So this is just part of my block here. Just placing this here so I know it's all together. Okay. Okay, let's see. Trying to figure out what was the last comment I read. Kayla says, it's gorgeous. I read that. I lost you. I got that. Janice says, the colors chosen are beautiful, great selection, modern look, makes us think outside the block, outside the box. So thank you so much, Janice. Connie says, what batting do you use? My hubby wants a little thicker quilt thickness. I like 80-20 or cotton, but looking for something a little thicker. Any ideas? It depends on how you're going to be quilting it. Me personally, batting isn't made to be thicker anymore. Those old-fashioned heavy quilts, polyester batting will make it thick, but that's not the look you're going to want if you're not going to densely quilt it down. It's still going to be lightweight. It's still going to feel light, and it will give you some up and down, but that may not be the look you want for your quilt. I would suggest putting 2 pieces of cotton batting on it. Now, and wool batting will also make it heavier, but I personally am not, I'm probably one of the few people that aren't a fan of wool batting. I've used it once. It was okay. I didn't like the way it made my quilt hang when I got through with it. I still have some wool batting that I haven't even used because I wasn't like 100% pleased with it, and I even used 100% cotton underneath it. But I would use 2 layers of cotton. Warm and Natural, when I first started quilting in 1994, was very thick. It is not the thin stuff that it is now. I have one quilt that I put that in, a bed-size quilt, and when I show it at shows, people go, oh my God, this quilt is heavy. And that's what batting used to be. Warm and Natural has gotten thinner over the years, just like other companies. So I would personally use 2 layers of 100% cotton, Warm and Natural, if I wanted a thicker, heavier quilt. It's easier to do on a long arm than it is if you're machine quilting on a standard sewing machine, because it is going to get heavy because you've got 2 bats in it. Darcy, when you do a quilt along thing, or are you going to do one? I've been sewing with you all. I've been doing sew alongs. I haven't been doing the quilt along. Oh, she says, I'm not going to do a quilt along thing, especially this year. I'm not doing any more special request projects right now. And that's just because I need to do some other things that I need to do. I can come on here and sew my projects, but I need to do some of my projects now. I've been sewing all year since April on you all's projects. We started with the pineapple. I've done 3 different pineapple quilts. I only got the blocks done on the other one, the Guyleen Fitzgerald's method. That was a special request. And then I did the sew along where I did the beginner easy string quilt. I did that, and I even did separate videos of uploading each step for that, so you didn't have to sit through the whole hour chat to get the instructions. And now I'm doing the Cleopatra's fan, and so I have been sewing with you all every week since April. I think I only missed 1 week, and that was because I just slept right through it. I had taken a nap and I didn't wake up in time to do it. So but that's it. I've been here. I got to do some of my own sewing at this point. Yogi says, Yahoo, we have 81 thumbs ups and 86 watching. Well, thank you guys. Kim says, Connie, I have a double the cotton batting, but also there is super loft polyester bat that is really thick, also very warm. And I have some batting from, I'm forgetting which company it is. It has a pink label on it. And it's a 100% polyester bat, but you wouldn't even know it. It's flat. And it comes up a little thicker too. But I'm blocking the name of it. It's in my garage. I have a customer that loves to use it. Heather, Connie, what about a wool batting? That way you do not need it to be too thick. It would be warmer. That's true. Connie, try wool or 88-ounce poly loft. I didn't realize my shirts don't have Teaquilts on them. I need one. That's Mary. She ordered the, I think the Kansas shirt. Okay, so we'll get you a Teaquilt shirt. Heather says that is looking good. Thank you. Connie says wool doesn't wash nice. We live where it's cold. Poly does not interest me. Yes, I don't particularly like the way polyester bat behaves. And wool batting is going to give you some poofiness too. So you need, if that's not what you want, if you want old-fashioned style flat quilts, then you may not want to use wool. Especially with you need the density that you're going to quilt that wool with as well. Dorothy says, I was going to try and make homemade Christmas fabric cards, but I decided not to because I heard that people weren't getting them. So I decided not to. And I had even mailed my nephew a Halloween postcard, and he never got it either. I don't know if the mail person decided they liked it better and kept it or what. So Rhonda saying good night, y'all. Good night, Rhonda. Thank you all so much. And you guys, we're over 11. If you're ready to go, please go ahead. I'm just sitting here chatting with you all, getting caught up. We'll be ending soon, though we're not going to be on much longer, but I just wanted to get this top done so that step was done in a video. So thank you all so much for watching if you've got to go. Gwen Spencer says, love it, T. Tiffany says, it's very, very amazing and so colorful, T. I love it. Thank you. T, how do I get one of your Teaquilt shirts? You order your shirts online, and then I tend to contact people just to make sure, or you have a comment box on PayPal that you can comment on when you're paying through PayPal. You can also tell me in the details. Like on my site, I have my shirts priced from small to XL. So I don't know what size shirt you need. It's just letting me know that the price that you're paying for your shirt is small through XL. And then I have a price for 2XL and up. And so I mostly have to contact people. So if you want to put your size, and if you want a different background color than what's showing, if the description says that you can have it in a different color, then you can go ahead and do that. Now, sometimes on my 3Xs and 4Xs, I only have certain colors in stock. And so then if I don't have the color in stock, I'll send photos of what I have in stock and have people select from that. Or I can refund your money. I give people those choices. Because it's so difficult to do t-shirts. My website is like an old website. I need to purchase software so that I can redo my website because my host has stopped accepting I used to use Front Page. It was a lot more user friendly, and I was able to do all the special things I needed to do, and now I'm just using a free software that's not up to par. And so I need to figure out what software they'll take and then learn it and then redo my whole website. And that's going to take time. And this year I did not have time. So Kayla says, do you blank your backing before quilting it? Do you wash your backing before quilting it? I don't know if she's asking me or Tiffany, but no, I do not. I used to wash all my fabric when I first started quilting, but remember that was back when the main fabrics out was like calico type prints. And so they weren't the best quality of fabrics. And that has since changed with quilting. And I don't think that it's necessary to wash your fabrics, and I definitely am not washing quilt backing and having to press it. but you do what you do. Some people have allergies and they're allergic to fabric unless they wash it. So different people do different things. I've also used non-wash fabric with wash fabrics and haven't had any problems or difficulty. So I say, do whatever you feel you need to do for your quilts. Love that quilt. That's from Kim. Thank you. She says, do you starch? And I don't starch them either. Most backings, unless they've got like hard lines in them, I might put some wrinkle release in it. It just depends. Sometimes you can get hard wrinkles in quilt backs because of how they're rolled onto the boat. But I might use some starch or wrinkle release for that. But I'm not intentionally starching the whole thing. I'm just, and then I'm also a long armor, so I don't even put my backings on my sewing machine anymore unless I'm making a piece back. I actually load my back on. I get straight edges. I have to press around the outside perimeter in order to make sure I can straighten it to get straight edge. I need one straight edge so that I can get it onto my long arm. And then I figure out the other straight edge on the other end as I'm rolling. And then I don't worry about the wrinkles. And then once I get it loaded, I got that backing on. I just spray water, or you can spray a water starch mixture, or you can just use starch. I just mostly use water because water will release wrinkles as well. So I spray water onto the part that's in the area where I would normally be quilting. And then I go do something else, let that dry. And then I come back 10-15 minutes later. If it's dry, I roll it and then I spray the next section. So I found that I use the tension of my long arm to iron for me. I no longer iron my quilt backs on the ironing board anymore. And Darcy says that is great, excellent. She's talking about the quilt, I think, quilt top. Thanks for the wool idea from Connie. She's thanking you guys. Mary says gorgeous. Michelle says hi T and everyone. Hi Michelle, welcome. Carla says it's beautiful, bright and cheery. Connie says I could double cotton, but do the long armors mind? No, they don't. They're used to doing stuff like that. They're used to using a cotton underlay and then putting normally wool on top. They're used to doing that. And if they've got a problem with 2 layers of cotton batting, then you probably need to find another long armor, because I'm not as experienced as a lot of these long armors, and it shouldn't be a problem, and I can do it. So it shouldn't be a problem. People are saying that it's gorgeous. Thank you, Cindy. I agree about the wool. Connie says, I think T, you are correct. I think he is thinking of the old quilt thickness. Thank you all. Cherie at Tropic Studio is here. Says, when I made my first quilt, I used full poly batten, only to find out years later that it was stuff you craft with. It all broke up into little flakes and threads. Wow, that's a lot of work. Heather says, good night to everyone. My brother says, okay, good night and stay safe. See, he stayed through the sewing. So I'm just trying to get through the comments, and then we're going to go ahead and end here. We're going to end that for sure by 11:30, guys, because you all keep commenting to keep me on here. I know you. But I'll get through the comments and then we'll quit. But good night, sir. I'll talk to you later. T-Rex says, wow, it was just a discussion a few weeks ago and now it's nearly finished and beautiful. Well, thank you. Kayla says, I don't remember the brand I bought, but the wool is bearding every time I wash it. But it is warm in the winter and cool in the summer months. But not dare buy it, would I buy it again? If you're using, what's your quilt, like dark colors like black or green or navy blue, if you have those colors, light color batting will beard through. I do keep 1 row of black Hobbs 80/20 on hand for dark quilts to prevent that from happening. So that could be part of the problem as well. Darcy says, I didn't know that Cleopatra was a quilt along. I thought people were doing it if they wanted to. I'm kind of bummed out. I will make sure I listen. Well, anything that I'm doing as a sew along, somebody requested. I did a whole presentation on it doing the sewing chats on Saturday. Then that's like a sew along. When I come back and start working on my projects, I'm just going to be sewing. I won't be doing any teaching of it. I'm just sewing my projects. But anytime those were like special request things that were asked of me, and that's what I've been doing ever since we started sewing, doing the Saturday sewing chat lives. I don't wash backing either. That's Tiffany. Kim says, don't feel bad, Darcy. I have fabric iron, but not cut one yet for it. That's all right. And you'll get to it when you get to it. Kayla says, thank you, T. That is interesting. And now I really want a long arm. The savings continue, laughing out loud. You got that right. It's always one thing, but I figure I'm one of those medium, I want to say more towards the bottom as far as pricing, because I do 2 cents per square inch. But there are some long armors that charge you for top thread, charge you for bobbin thread. They charge you for loading your quilt. They add tax on. Yeah, they come up with all kinds of fees. The only fees that I add is when you start asking me to do more work, like squaring up your quilt. If you're buying batting, if you want variegated threads, because that thread is way more expensive, I have like a surcharge. I charge for that. And then I charge if I have to fix your seams. If I'm seeing holes in your quilt top, I start charging you for that. So if I got to do extra work, but I don't charge people for thread, regular thread. I don't charge people for loading your quilts, and I definitely don't put tax on a service. So you just got different people. I had one twin size quilt quilted one time, and I bet you I spent about close to $400, and that's when I decided that I was going to buy my own long arm, because the long arm quilting in my area had got really ridiculous. And so it just depends on your area, but I try to be reasonable because I try to look at it from the side of the quilter who needs to get their stuff done, but I also don't want to work for free. So, and I do discounts for my customers that are repeat customers. Every so many quilts they bring me, I give them like $10 off their quilting fee, something like that. So that's just what I do for my customers. A lot of people don't do that because they say, no matter what, I'm starting from scratch working on your thing, so I shouldn't have to give you a discount. But I just feel like I'm one of those people. I just like to give back to people that come to me, because choosing a quilter, you're giving somebody your hard-earned work, your hard work, and you want something back that's beautiful. So I'm honored that you even sent your item to me to get quilted. So I try to also give back to my customers. So Cheryl says, good night, T and everyone. Thank you for another awesome chat, T. Many blessings to all. Bye-bye, Cheryl. She's probably long gone by now. Wind Sprinter says, beautiful job, T. Good night, all. Good night to you as well. Tiffany says, good night, everyone. Good night, T. Just pull the plug. That's the easiest way to get off. You got that right. Great job tonight, T and all. That's June. Caller says, good night, everyone. Watching the Jones versus Tyson fight. I didn't know that was today. I thought it was still being advertised. That's pretty cool. So I probably haven't heard from my husband in a while. That's probably where he's at. Caller says, good night, all. That was Caller that said that. Kim says, good night, everyone. Stay safe. Joy says, good night, my sewing family. Carla Green says, T, those are beautiful colors that pop. Good night, all. Thank you, Carla. This is a gift from Judy. And I just added one fabric to it. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this look in the end. Tiffany says, I am the same. No real extra charges, and I stay the cheapest around. I charge only more for a custom. And I used to do custom for people, but I've stopped doing it because they don't want to pay for it. And so they want custom, but they don't want to pay for the custom. And I'm not going to work 2 weeks. So I just tell people I don't do custom. I only custom my own quilts. And I don't even want to custom my own. You see, with the Cleopatra, it's like, no, I got too many that needs to be custom quilted. Darcy says, Kayla, I have saved my money, but I don't have the space. Yeah. Kayla says, I understand that, Darcy. I need both. Laughing out loud. Yes. So we're going to go ahead and end here, guys. Thank you all so much for your support on my channel. Appreciate everything that you all do for me, my channel, being here, especially on a Saturday night. But we're going to go ahead and sign off. And as usual, want everybody to stay safe and stay blessed in the coming weeks. And I'll see you Wednesday for a live chat at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, everybody.